booths there where you can purchase plants and things there, as well as other little crafty things that are around and so on like that. And then the garden tours itself take off from that area, and they actually take you where you can see the areas where the different plants are growing. So their environment changes from a north exposure, south exposure, hillside versus flat, and so on. And it's really fun to see how people have managed those differences in their yards.
Our friends Alan and Glenda, who are master gardeners, they're on the tour this year.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah. And they started out with all the winter disaster that the rest of us, experienced. I had like 3 dead plants by the time they came. Things came up, and there was 3 of. I lost a lavender. I lost a penstemon, my favorite penstemon, and I lost some rock rose, and they just, while everything else around them came up green and budding. These guys were just brown stubs. I mean, they were crunched. I probably shouldn't have shoveled the snow off the driveway on the lavender. That was.
Yeah, they probably didn't appreciate that a bit.
That was really pushing the bounds of good taste.
Yeah, Kyle and I were both talking when I was here the last time. We both lost our artichoke plants that were a couple of years old, and we were going, oh no, the artichoke's gone. And then lo and behold, we went to our plant sale, and while they usually have quite a few there, guess what? All the ones that they were growing for us for the plant sale also got hit by that same freeze, and I think there was about 4 or 5 of them at the plant sale was all. So, oh well, so much for artichokes.
Yeah, I'm shopping now for a white lavender. I do need I've got a space in the center of the front yard, or the front garden, where I can put in a lavender, and I've had such good luck with the lavenders, kind of being offensive to the deer out on the front deck, or so that they've actually left my petunias alone. And I scooted everything back about 3 feet from the edge of the deck, so they'd have to really stretch to get to anything anyway. But now they really do leave it alone, and we'll see how we get away with it. Last year, when I went away on vacation for a few weeks, and I came back, and the deer had blazingly grazed.
They were pruning.
Boy, did they. It was really the sun gold tomato that I foolishly didn't net before I left. And they had that sucker down to 6-inch stubs like a Charlie Brown tomato tree.
No.
It was sad. But anyway, we're gonna chit chat about things that are going on here in town, with a focus on master gardener projects and stuff. We have the farmers markets. There is farmers markets today.
Oh yes.
Yes. And so if you're out and about, it's going to be a good temperature to go out and get some fresh produce. There's lots of things that are coming up now. People are harvesting their cool season crops. Onions are some of the best that can be grown are in the markets right now.
They are, and in my own garden at home, it's like because we've had the combinations of warm and cool days and stuff. My lettuce and spinach and stuff like that is just going crazy. So I know there's got to be some really good stuff out there in the markets too. And we have the ones in Newburgh, and we have the one in McMinnville on Thursdays, and then we've got the one over at the Grange. And the beautiful things that are grown locally and brought in by those folks are just really great. A lot of them are master gardeners.
Well, in case people didn't know, there's a very, very active farmers market on Wednesday in Newburgh, and it goes from 1:30 till 6 o'clock.
Correct.
And it's located on the lawn area there in front of the cultural center, behind the library. There's plenty of parking, lots of vendors, good food,
and very well received by the public in that area.
Yeah,
good place to visit.
It really is. It's almost as cool as McMinnville's, and it's growing.
Well, almost. We're probably prejudiced since we live here.
It's just ours has been going a little longer down here, so they've learned from all their past experiences.
And true, and a lot of the Newburgh residents who happen to be master gardeners have worked and helped to develop one here in McMinnville, so now they have one in their neighborhood for their local folks too.
Yeah, the community garden is going pretty good over on Burnett. That's one that if you have time to stop in, it's really cool. It's kind of under the auspices of the co-op ministries.
Correct. Yeah, and Linda and Tony have worked really industriously hard along with a whole group of other people getting that started. And she was just saying in our board meeting a few days ago that they have got the plant boxes up and running for the children's garden. And while this is a new venture and a new location and everything, it's going to be bigger and better than ever once it's finished. But right now they're really concentrating on the children's garden and a few of the row crops that people come in and do for their own use, and if they have an overabundance, they share with our local YCAP and so on like that, which is great.
We're really tickled that our friends over at Recology have helped sponsor that.
Oh, absolutely.
And brought material, compost, and
They have just donated so much to that and helped us out and with supplies that we needed and brought them when we needed them. So that's been wonderful, a real big benefit to us.
oh yeah, we're very, very appreciative of Recology sponsorship, and especially to the root of it. They stepped up when we were first getting started with this, and jumped right on it and said, "Yeah, we'd do that." And they're just so great with.
They absolutely are, and we hadn't had too many children's programs with Master Gardeners, and we're really pushing on getting that developed now, and we just did one for the special needs children's over at WESD, and Recology donated compost and so on like that to us for that project as well, and it wasn't anywhere near the quantities, of course, that we needed at the community garden, but they stepped right up and said, absolutely, we'll help you with that, so that's been fun.
Yeah. Poor old Nick was a little surprised when he says, "Well, how much do you need?" You know, thinking, I don't know what he was thinking. When we told him we needed about 15 units, he kind of choked there for a minute. Bless his heart, he spit up compost though. By golly willikers,
They did that for us at the fairgrounds also, Ray. You know, we're working on that cooperative program to help the fairgrounds do a facelift to their property when you come in, where you see all of the trees and plants and hostas and whatever out there. So in getting that sorted out, they came up with compost and topsoil and ground cover and things like this that was just amazing. And they were right on board with helping our local fairgrounds also.
well, by time fair comes around, that's all going to be maturing really nicely. And I hope everybody gets out to the fair this year, because there's been a real push to make our fairgrounds a premium fairgrounds. The building reconstructions have gone on. The landscaping reorganizations have gone on. The Master Gardener demonstration garden is
that's
just
beautiful.
gorgeous this
Beautiful
year.
this
Wow.
year. Yeah.
We eliminated the little 10-foot piece of grass that was, I don't know what it was. It was
It's flowering
it
now.
was a dog lawn. Give me a break.
Yep.
And it's gone. And so there's more roses this year,
Yes.
and they're absolutely going to be fabulous by fair time. Last week we talked a little bit about people getting involved in the fair, and there's been some activity. But if you're interested in trying, not donating, but entering fruits and flowers, vegetable produce, anything of that nature in the open class horticultural displays, you can actually win prizes and ribbons, and it's kind of fun.
It really is. I've done that off and on for years, and my husband said it's my little brag wall that I have in my craft room with my ribbons and stuff. And even from some of the things that I've produced in my garden of canning jams and jellies and things like that, entering those or whatever, it's really, really, really a fun event to be at and to participate in, and it's very rewarding as well as being fun.
Well, I get a real kick out of the kids that come over on Tuesday and are entering things in the fair. And then later on, seeing them bring mom and dad over to see the ribbon that they won. Look what I did.
Oh yeah, we did that with my granddaughters last year. But she'd never entered anything, and Grandma convinced her that she should do that. So she did, and the next thing you know, I showed up at the fairgrounds to do my volunteer work, and I was, oh my gosh, she won a prize. And so I had to call Hannah right away, and the whole family came down with cameras to take pictures of her standing in front of her ribbon. It was so fun.
Well, we're going to take a little break. This is KLYC Radio, 1260 on your radio dial. This is To the Root of It with Ray and Sharon this morning. So how do we do this? We're going to... There we are. Ready.
AM 1260 KLYC, and we do want to thank Recology Northwest Greenlands for being a sponsor of To the Root of It. And we are right now at Recology talking to Nick Olheiser, the supervisor lead here in McMinnville. Nick, thank you for sponsoring the program.
Thank you very much.
So you and I were talking just before we started making this interview, was that the weather's been kind of crazy, but we're going to be heading into spring. What's going on now at Recology? So what are you selling right now here in this time of year?
We're still selling pretty much all of our in-yard products. It'll range from anywhere from a rock to all the barks. We have soil mixes, the compost. We're still doing the concrete mixing station services. We still have the blower truck services and delivery services pretty much anywhere in the local community, even some of the out communities as well.
What are your prices?
They're going to range from anywhere from about $15 for the half yards all the way up to the $30, $35 range for full yard.
Now, one of the nice things about having Recology here in McMinnville, it's very convenient to come down and get a truckload. Or how small quantities do you sell?
As far as in-yard pickup truckload, we go all the way down to half yard, and then we go up to however much you want to take at once, and you can come back and make several trips and get as much as you need, or if you're wanting to save a little bit of time, we can go ahead and deliver that right to your doorstep.
And how do they contact you?
Be either through the phone, which is 503-434-1671, or as well, we also have our new website all set up, which is compostoregon.com. It has all of our pricing and on hours as well as our address.
And your hours here at Recology Northwest Greenlands in McMinnville?
It's going to be 8 to 4, Monday through Friday, and then Saturday is 9 to 4.
Talking to Nick Olheiser, the supervisor lead for Recology Northwest Greenlands, sponsor here of To the Root of It on AM 1260 KLYC.
There's a new place to eat in McMinnville. Great food, great prices, and a passion to please. Banner's Restaurant. Now, maybe your partner wants lunch and you want breakfast, or vice versa. Or you want slight substitutions on the menu. No problem. A passion to please at Banner's Restaurant. All new furnishings and an all-glass restaurant entryway provide a sunny, friendly, family-inviting atmosphere. Banner's Restaurant, located near the Dollar Tree and Rent-A-Center in McMinnville. Open 7 days a week from 7 to 2, serving breakfast and lunch, and dinner coming soon. Check them out online at bannersmac.com. Like them on Facebook and like them in person. And remember, you give them the time, they'll give you a great meal. Banner's Restaurant, located near the Dollar Tree and Rent-A-Center in McMinnville.
At Ford, we're famous for trucks. Always have been, always will be. But guess what the best-selling car in the world is? The Ford Focus, and we have a great selection here at Newburgh Ford. The Ford Fiesta is number 6 in the world. In fact, Ford builds innovative compacts like the 47-mile-per-gallon C-Max Hybrid, performance classics like Mustang, even the 100 miles per gallon Fusion Energy plug-in. Whether you're looking for a car or a truck, see us at Newburgh Ford, where we just work harder for you.
Okay, and we're back. This is Ray and Sharon this morning with To the Root of It. we're discussing activities that are going on here in McMinnville today and in the coming weeks. There's lots of stuff going on. People need to, if you're bored and you're tired of watching rerun TVs and now's the time to get out and go and experience other people's gardens. There's going to be a garden tour June the 22nd. It's fairly reasonable priced. It does, I think it's sponsored by the Garden Club.
Yes, the McMinnville Garden Club is the
that's
ones
one.
that actually are the ones who, if you will, put this on and bring it all together. And they have a lot of folks that are members of their organization and have been for many years. And they put out great efforts always to keep their gardens in good shape. But there's a special effort for the garden tour, and they're just beautiful to go and see.
Well, they've got their website is mcminnvillegardenclub.org to get information on where to get tickets. There's maps available, so you can actually do it like your own little road rally.
Absolutely.
And tour around. There's lots of stuff going on. So the weather's going to be absolutely perfect. It's going to be on the cool side, but not cold. It's just going to be comfortable for people who like it under 80.
Yes.
I'm not one of them. I like 80. I wear 3 layers. And
Depends on what I'm doing. If I'm working hard, I like the cooler side. If it's not, and I'm just relaxing, enjoying, then give me 80 plus.
we've got a cool opportunity. If you're into gardening and you're not a master gardener, there is an opportunity down at Oregon State University on coming up in July, I believe
mini
it is.
college.
Yeah, they call it mini college. It's actually like summer camp for gardeners. Goes on for a couple of days. There's all kinds of classes and meetings and presentations and demonstrations, and it's really pretty cool. If you go to extension.oregonstate.edu, and then you'll find the click on there where it says mini college, and click on that, and there's information. There's registration forms. It's not really expensive. I don't know exactly how much it is. Even if, actually, a couple of years I went down and stayed for the whole thing and camped out in the dormitories, and that's why I say it's kind of like summer camp for big people. Ooh.
Yeah, some people commute back and forth. Some folks get hotels or motels if they want to do the big dollar side of it, or like say the dormitories and so on. It's really, really a very nice event, and lots of things going on besides just classes.
If you'd like to go down and you don't have transportation, you might check over at the extension office on Lafayette Avenue. And do you have the phone number there?
Not off the top of my head. This day and age with our cell phones and everything, we just pull up the site and push the button. But we could sure get that. We'll give it to them a little bit later.
Here it is. 503-434-7517.
Ah, good job.
And it's at 2050 Lafayette Avenue if you want to just stop in and see if they've got any like ride share carpooling going on. Maybe there'd be a way you could get a ride down with somebody, with other gardeners, and then you can garden all the way down and you can garden all the way back.
There you go. That's what we've done before on some of the events that we went to down there, like with leadership and so on. And it works out really fun that way, and less cars on the road, which is a good thing too.
But if you have an interest in serious gardening, this is the time to go and go to this mini college. It's a very unique experience.
And you can register right up to the last minute, so it's not like that you're pushing a cutoff date or anything like that.
No.
If you're thinking about it, check out the website, like Ray was saying, and download that app.
Yeah, it's a fabulous thing to go and do. and learn about gardening in the Northwest from the experts at Oregon State University's Department of Agriculture and other master gardeners that are doing presentations. And it's just a hoot, actually. We were discussing last week. We were discussing additional plants to bring various pollinators into your garden besides the European honeybee. And there's a really cool list here in the grapevine, and you can get the grapevine on your computer if you go to Master Gardeners, yamhillmastergardener.org, and then click on newsletter, and you can download our grapevine. It's presented every month with new stories, updates, plants, what kind of new books are in our library.
What events we've been putting on, what's happening in the neighborhood and in the world of master gardeners, and working in the community, trying to help other people and educate people, and bring good things into life through the garden.
Yeah, I mean, Master Gardeners is it's really a volunteer organization. It's the outreach arm to the urban gardener of Oregon State Extension. It was actually invented in Washington when they discovered that as the urban gardeners in Seattle, Tacoma area became more involved in backyard gardening, the extension office up there slowly but surely got kind of overwhelmed with personal questions. The staff was focused on the commercial garden growers, and hadn't really thought about the fact that they had a couple of million people that were growing food for themselves in their own backyard. And so they developed the Master Gardener organization to be an outreach primarily to the non-commercial fruit, vegetable growers, the people who literally just have a couple of tomatoes on the back patio. And so that's what Master Gardeners is. It's a volunteer organization. It's not unlike Rotary or Kiwanis or something like that, except you don't have to dress up.
No, you don't. You can wear your garden gloves and your grubby jeans and go out there and do your thing. But what's really cool is we have over 160 people that are volunteers just here in Yamhill County. And while we don't know everything as individuals, we know where to get the answers, and there's always somebody within our group who does have the answers needed, not just for ourselves, but for the public, and always willing to share that knowledge and help people out when they've got problems in their yards and gardens.
Yeah, we have the clinic desk that you can call.
Yes.
And again, that number at the extension is 503-434-7517, and they can switch you over to the Master Gardener desk. And it's a volunteer program as well. We do have the wealth of information, but you can also reach it online at extension.oregonstate.edu/Yamhill, and then you can click on Master Gardener, and you can email questions. There's also a section titled Ask an Expert, where
Yes.
you can type in your question, and that question will then be routed to people who are volunteers to look up the information that you need, and they get back to you pretty quick.
Yes, they do, and it's dependent on how unique the question is, because we have people who bring in a jar that's got a mystery insect in it, or a branch off of a plant that's not doing well, or some soil and say, my stuff isn't growing, what's wrong with my soil? And so we can research those things for them to help them figure out what their problem is. That's how I first got acquainted with Master Gardeners. When I moved here to McMinnville, I moved into a area that was unique to me. I had plants, I had no idea what they were, and I went to our farmer's market and brought a thing in with me and said, "Here, can you tell me what this is?" And they said, "I can't tell you today, but I'll get back to you." And I think it was 1 or 2 days later, one of the master gardeners called me and told me what it was. And I ended up signing up and taking the classes, and here we are 3.5 years later.
And I'm dang glad you did, girl. You've been with me on some interesting projects so
Well,
far.
yes, some of them were a little challenging.
Yeah. There was,
Oh, Grow Alley was a fun one.
that
And the
was
pavilion.
that was a hoot. And
It was. It was a lot of work, but well worth it. It really expanded our area of being able to do more for the public. So,
Well, having it set up so that the plants can be propagated in the greenhouse and then transitioned outside to either shade or part sun, so they actually develop in their natural lighting situation,
yep.
providing they're actually taken care of, which they are. But that's what produces all those wonderful perennials and stuff that we have for sale at the plant sale.
Our propagation group has been being so busy over the last a month and a half out there, and it's really fun to see them working when they're there, because all of the different folks that are there are taking cuttings off of plants and bringing them in from home, and then they're taking those things that they pruned off and making little cuttings out of them and put them in little tiny environments and putting them under this wonderful misting system we were able to put together so that they're getting the right amount of moisture and the right amount of sun, and they're already starting to get roots, and by next year's plant sale we're going to have beautiful plants.
Yeah, this is stuff that's for next year's plant sale.
Absolutely.
Is being propagated right now. So they're on it. So if you had good shopping experience at the plant sale, trust me, there's going to be another 5,000-6,000 perennials ready for next plant sale.
Yeah.
There's some new stuff out there too. This looks like something I'm actually going to have to go find. It's a new flowering currant that was developed by Oregon State University's plant development group.
Called snowflake.
And it's called Oregon Snowflake Currant. It's a low-growing shrub. It's not supposed to get more than about 4 or 5 feet tall, and not much larger than that. But it's going to be a wonderful attractant for hummingbirds and bees, and like the native red currant, it's going to have an early bloom, so that when things are migrating north, where our little hummingbirds are first getting active, it'll be the first dinner they find. And it's
Once they find it, they like to hang around.
yeah, they'll stay in your backyard, and this is going to have a longer bloom season too. It's going to be winter hardy, down to like zone 6, which certainly includes all of Yamhill County, even up to around the 500-foot level in the mountains around town. But it's actually in the same family as currants and gooseberries, and it does have edible fruit, but they're not what you'd call delicious.
Right.
I'm curious. I'm going to go find one.
I suppose it's a matter of taste. It is like, what is that stuff? Oh, huckleberries. Some
Yeah.
people love huckleberries. I used to have them growing wild in the woods on my property. I don't have them here, but I guess they make great jam and huckleberry pie or whatever,
Yeah.
but I just liked eating them off the bush.
When we lived up in Hood River, we'd go up around Lost Lake and pick huckleberries every year.
Oh, yeah.
And just turn the kids loose, and we'd actually get some back in the bucket, but they'd go out, and, especially the youngest daughter. She never grasped that concept of take it off the bush and put it in the bucket.
They would take it off the bush and put it in the
and
mouth.
Put it in the
Yes,
mouth.
right.
Yeah. She'd come back with blue stains clear up
Oh, yeah.
past her nose. So
Oh,
it was,
yeah. Yeah.
you knew where those berries went.
Yeah, absolutely. It's really fun in my yard right now because this kind of on again, off again weather we've had with some early warm seasons. When I go out to weed my garden now, I'm picking strawberries, and I've just started picking blueberries and stuff. So while I'm weeding, I reward myself with a few that I pop in my mouth. But it is fun to be able to have all those. Those currants should be really great for us to bring in those pollinators that are going to make the rest of that work well for us.
I mentioned this Ask an Expert, and I probably should define what the website there is. It's at extension.oregonstate.edu, and then there is an actual extension Ask an Expert icon that you can click on and email your question to Oregon State University, and you will get answered. They answer questions from all over the state, Clackamas County or Marion County or Josephine County. We were talking about some from Josephine County last week. People were wanted to know how to get rid of poison oak. Oh,
Yeah, that
icky
stuff.
stuff. We won't even get into that one again today. And one of the questions this particular session was about irrigating your tomatoes and hydrating them from the bottom. Do not spray the leaves. Do not spray the
Right.
fruit. Do not overhead water. And there's an excellent explanation of why you don't do that to your fruit. And it's in the grapevine. You can, if you have any questions. There's also some questions. There's some questions on canning that are answered. There's the poison oak question is answered in there, and it's really, there's all kinds of cool information in the grapevine, and it's free to the public. You don't have to be a master gardener. If you got a computer, you can download it.
Absolutely. But
There's a whole section on tips to take care of your June garden maintenance. There's a full list, of course. If you just click on gardening calendar, it's way expanded.
speaking of calendars, you know that scheduling and events and so on like that, the newspaper, our local papers, have the local events of what's happening around town. And another way for folks to learn is to come to some of the workshops and seminars that are put on by our local master gardeners. In connection with this whole fairground project, we had 4 separate events that happened. Alan led a workshop on pruning, and we had 25 or so people that were at that one. And then Dave and I did one on irrigation systems, of putting in drip systems and so on. And people not only learned from that, but they had the opportunity to do hands-on with helping put some of it in there at the fairgrounds, which is really cool. Then you know what you need to do when you go home. And the other one that was on there, Marcia, and I put one on that was for container gardening. And I was actually kind of her Vanna, as she says. And we actually planted a bunch of whiskey barrels there at the fairgrounds, so people had hands-on with that. It's a great way to learn. Just check your events page in the newspaper, and it'll tell you when and where they're happening. And most of them are free. There are some, there's a small fee to them, but very small. But check the events. Show up. We'd love to have you.
Well, the small fee isn't for the instructor. It's,
Oh, no.
If,
No.
if there's any supplies like baskets or dirt or
Exactly.
the plant material itself, if you're like in building baskets.
Yes, and even the printing, because we normally, when you come to those, you not only get to see and hear, you get paperwork to take home with you that explains the whole process. And so, yeah, there are expenses involved in it, and no fees go to any of the people. It's strictly
No,
for supplies.
It's pretty much free to the public.
Oh, yeah.
So keep your eyes posted in the events calendar, in the News Register, because these are well publicized, and,
Yes.
and location is well publicized, time is well publicized. Come on down and join us, and
The Graphic in Newburgh puts those out also.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Graphic
yeah.
in Newburgh and the McMinnville paper, the Register, both of those are really terrific about backing up our local programs and getting that information out.
So anyway, we're about to have to take another break. This has been Ray and Sharon with To the Root of It here in Yamhill County on KLYC Radio, and we'll be right back.
AM 1260 KLYC, To the Root of It, and sponsor for To the Root of It here is Recology Northwest Greenlands, having a facility here in McMinnville. We're talking to Nick Olheiser, the supervisor lead. Now, Recology Northwest Greenlands has undergone a bit of a change in their corporate structure and their name and so on and so forth, but they're still here in McMinnville, still here to provide quality mulch and garden products.
Yeah, absolutely. About 3 years ago, we were purchased by a San Francisco-based company called Recology. Basically, it's just been a rebranding for us in a sense. We've changed a few of our processes that we do here on site. Other than that, everything's the same. We still offer the same services, the same great staff, and the same competitive prices as well.
So if you need something in mulch for your garden, your operation, come down here to Recology. Now, when people talk about Recology Northwest Greenlands, what do you want them to think of as what you provide or the company?
I want them to realize that we are the new face of composting in a sense. This is kind of where the industry is shifting towards the more organics side of it, and I want us to be the front runners, and I want us to be more involved in the community, and I want them to know all about us when they hear our name.
And where are you located? What are your hours?
2200 Northeast Orchard Avenue here in McMinnville, and hours are going to be 8 to 4 Monday through Friday and 9 to 4 Saturday.
Talking to Nick Olheiser and Recology Northwest Greenlands, the sponsor of To the Root of It, right here on AM 1260 KLYC.
The start of the season is right around the corner. So is your local Kubota dealer, where you can get a great deal on a new Kubota L-Series tractor right now during Kubota's Get Something Started sales event. If you're thinking about a rugged tractor with a cab for year-round comfort, then a new Kubota has your name on it. With a smooth-running engine, choice of transmissions, and spaciousness beyond expectation, your Kubota dealer is the place to start. Right now, get your own Kubota L-Series tractor for 0 down and 0% financing for up to 60 months. So if you're worried about green, think orange at the Kubota Get Something Started sales event.
Visit your local Kubota dealer or go to Kubota.com.
0 down, 0% APR financing for terms up to 60 months on selected equipment now through June 30th, 2014. Not available for rental national accounts or government customers. 0% APR low rate financing not available with instant rebate offers. Financing available through Kubota Credit Corporation USA subject to credit approval. Other exceptions may apply. For more information, call toll free 1-888-465-8268.
And we're back. We're getting close to the end of the show, though. But anyway, this is what to do in your gardens and what to do in the community for entertainment, classes, things that are available through the Master Gardener program that are free to the public, programs and learning experiences that are available. And they're off and on all summer long. And these are things where non-master gardeners can come and learn from the master gardeners, from Oregon State Extension. The classes most generally are free or very minimal fees. And you can come in and enjoy a presentation and a learning experience with other gardeners. Mm-hmm. For the most part, it's a kind of an escape from the grandkids.
Oh, come on. It's the kids, not the grandkids.
Yeah, true.
Even in spring into gardening that we have in March each year now, that one we actually had, was it 8 or 9 separate seminars that went on there, everything from growing tomatoes to pruning orchards to whatever. And OSU Extension Office, where we are hosted at YCMGA, there on Lafayette, you can walk in and fill out a form, or you can call in and give the information or whatever that you need. And if there's not somebody that can answer your question completely right at that moment, they will definitely get back to you with the right answer on that. And OSU has a so much information. It's overwhelming that's available there. I've even been in there working over at the office, doing some volunteer work in the research room before, and had not just general public, but people who had orchards. He came in and he needed to register what he was growing this year or whatever, but he had some questions about something that was going on in his orchard. And so if you have your own private small businesses and stuff like this, they're there to help you with information also.
Yeah, that's what the staff chairs are there for. I think one of the funnest committees we have in the Master Gardener Group is the insect committee.
Oh, yeah.
That has been such a treat. Bob Grossman is a retired biology professor, and he
He gets
more
really
fun.
excited about those little crawly guys.
He has more fun with bugs than I think is really legal.
Yeah, I was in there one day and he's rolling this little guy over on his tummy. Well, I've got to see how many stripes are on his belly, or something other. And he's got this little pair of tweezers rolling this little bug over under the microscope. It really kind of cracked me up. He was having such a good time.
I wish I'd had that much fun in biology class when I was a sophomore in high school. But you can bring in insects, and
but please, not the ones that are still running. Put them in something.
No. Give them a good drink of rubbing alcohol before you
There
bring
you
them. It
go.
also helps keep their bodies pliable.
Yes.
They're dead, but no, they aren't all dried out. So we
Yeah.
can, and they put them underneath microscopes and identify them and sex them, and so you have a male or a female bug, and we'll let you know the next afternoon. The committee meets every other Thursday in the morning.
Oh, and they're intense in how they're looking at that and everything. And, they'll sort the good guys out from the bad guys. They'll tell you who you need to get rid of and who you need to say, oh, hallelujah, you've got that in your yard. That's wonderful.
Because you don't want to just kill everything.
No.
There's actually you want to nurture the good bugs and let them take care of the bad bugs, because that's what they were intended to do.
Exactly, and that's why you have to be really careful what you're putting on your yard as far as insect control goes, because if you use the wrong chemical, you're going to kill all the good guys and your problem's going to be worse than ever. So taking a very, very soft hand with those chemicals in your yard as far as insects are concerned.
Well, that's the whole focus of integrated pest management.
Yes.
is being careful with what you do chemically. Use the least toxic method first,
Yes.
and gradually work up to what you have to do. You don't go right to the nuclear waste.
That's exactly what I was saying. We're not going to drop the bomb on them.
Yeah, I used to back. I was actually pretty much a dangerous gardener. Castoron and diazinon, and those were wonderful chemicals in my book, because they work.
Yes, they work.
I didn't. The weed preparation, fertilizer, bug killer that I used on my lawn was, yes, it did. My dog did not have fleas, but I did not have any other creepy crawly things in my lawn, and it was harder to actually keep the lawn going without the natural guys that help aerate your lawn and help break down material in the soil so that the roots are healthy. So I ended up having to put more fertilizer
Right.
on it. It was an expensive way to garden.
I found myself smiling the other day when I was out inspecting my roses to see if I had aphids on them. And of course, if I'd had the aphids there, what I was going to do was grab my garden hose and start washing them off. But as I was peeking around, I saw a couple of ladybugs on the leaves eating the aphids, and I went, "Yay, go girls!"
Yeah. My next door neighbor lady took off for a little vacation back to Washington, D.C., so she honored me with the opportunity to water her garden.
Yes.
And she'd actually taken care of my garden when I went last winter. So this
It's
was
nice when you
it
can,
was a fun payback.
Yeah,
but
good trade-off.
You're right. There was a few brown and green aphids on one of her plants, and so I just sprayed those off. And then when I got to the next rows, I realized that maybe I'd sprayed away dinner, because here was a half a dozen lady beetles working that bush, and they were starting at the bottom, and they were literally just eating their way to the top of the bud and eating aphids to just happy as little clams doing what they're supposed to be doing.
Banquet.
So I left them alone.
Yes.
I figured,
Yes,
what
yes.
the hell, they're out,
Yeah.
they're there for the buffet.
It's been really fun. Being able to find out which ones are the ones I want to have there and which ones are the ones I need to make go away, and different ways to handle them. And it's all been a learning process since I joined Master Gardeners, and it certainly has helped me. I've actually got tomatoes on my plants, which is, I'm going, yay! And learned that from Alan's tomato growing class that he put on. And having less damage on my plants, because I am managing the insects better as far as getting rid of the bad guys and encouraging the good guys. So,
Yeah, it's one of the classes that we had at the spring seminar was that tomato grafting class.
oh yeah,
And Kyle actually grafted one.
did he?
Yeah, and it's doing fine.
I haven't done that yet, but I did find out. I never realized until I took Ellen's class, and I thought I was a grower because I grew up on a farm in Illinois when I was a kid. Of course, I left there when I was 13, so I
Yeah.
probably didn't, absorb as much as I might have. And back in the olden days like that, we didn't know everything we know now. So it is a learning process. But Alan was saying, well, you take your tomato plant and you cut off all those bottom limbs and bury it so that you think you're buying this beautiful plant because it's 1.5 or 2 feet tall, but you put all of it except about 6 inches of it in the ground. And man, I did that this year, and those puppies have got the strongest stems on them. And instead of using the wire cages, I had some bamboo sticks there that I rescued from my son's yard. He was going to burn them. And I made the teepees over the top. So I've got those 3 main branches attached to them, and they are growing. I've got peas, the sweet peas that are growing right now, that are about 7 feet tall up my trellis. I'm going to have to give some to my daughter. I've got too many. I can't eat them all.
Maybe I'll stop by your backyard with my little pick-me-up bag.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. I keep a supply of bags for puppy special purpose. And I may just wander by after the show and see if you got any spare peas.
Sure.
I love snap peas.
The peas are doing really, really good. I grab those off the bush and eat them too. But and oh my goodness, my lettuce and spinach are just still going really, really good. So I've learned a lot from Master Gardeners.
Okay. Well, we're gonna take one more break just to keep the people out there in the electronic world happy with us.
Yeah.
This is Ray and Sharon. We're doing To the Root of It from KLYC Radio here in Yamhill County, 1260 on your radio dial. And we'll be right back.
AM 1260 KLYC. We want to thank Recology Northwest Greenlands for sponsoring To the Root of It. It's because of their financial support makes it possible for us to have this program on the radio. We very, very much appreciate it. Talking to Nick Olheiser, who is the project lead at Recology Northwest Greenlands in McMinnville, there is a shift in the industry towards more organics, more naturals, and not chemicals and pesticides and unnatural fertilizers, but getting back to nature, right?
Exactly. Yes, we're trying to get away from the man-made fertilizers that are so often used nowadays. Trying to shift more into the organics and trying to educate individuals on the long-term benefits as well as the short-term benefits of organics. It's not good for just a year; it's good for 10 years. It's helping to restructure the soil, and it's not just providing instant nutrients. It's good in every way.
And it's also a lot safer to handle.
Absolutely, yes. It does not have, like you mentioned, the chemicals, the pesticides in it. So, yes, it's completely organic. Everything out here is OMRI listed, and it's good to go and put directly in your soil.
So come out here with your pickup truck. What kind of containers should people come out? Pickup truck, dump truck, what?
We can do pickup truck, dump trucks, trailers, whatever you have. You can also we do 5-gallon bucket sales if you just need something small for just a little in-house garden or backyard garden that you may have. We can do 30-gallon containers, whatever you have. We'll make sure we meet your needs.
And phone number, do you have a website or a Facebook page?
Yes, we actually just got a brand new website all up and running with our prices as well as our hours and our address, and that's at www.compostoregon.com.
And again, phone number.
503-434-1671.
Well, Nick, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
AM 1260 KLYC, talking to Nick Olheiser, the project lead at Recology Northwest Greenlands in McMinnville, sponsor of To the Root of It on AM 1260 KLYC.
Summer's heating up, and that means the hottest brands and the coolest deals at Rent-A-Center. Right now, get a 60-inch LG Plasma HD TV, regularly $30.99 a week, now just $26.99 a week. Or choose select laptops, regularly $26.99 a week, marked all the way down to $19.99 a week. Try Rack's flexible, worry-free payment plan now and get the best brands and the coolest deals with no credit check during the hottest sale of the summer going on now at Rent-A-Center.
Rent-A-Center McMinnville, just across from the Dollar Tree and Sherry's Restaurant. Online Northwest is your gateway to the planet. Online Northwest is Yamhill County's only locally owned and operated internet and phone service provider. Online Northwest, downtown McMinnville, has been providing local friendly service and support since 1997. Residential and business services include high-speed internet, phone, fiber solutions, web design and hosting, co-location, television, and much more. Online Northwest coverage areas include parts of Washington, Yamhill, Polk, Marion, and Tillamook counties. Call Online Northwest at 503-883-9200 or visit them at onlinenw.com for more information. Online Northwest is the internet and phone service provider for KLYC Radio.
We play your favorites. KLYC, McMinnville, Sheridan.
ABC News Now, I'm Deirdre Bryant. President Obama is calling on dads to get more involved in their kids' lives. The president grew up without his father around and urges fathers to mentor kids who don't have one. The president is spending a long Father's Day weekend in Rancho Mirage, California. He's attending a Democratic fundraiser at a home in Orange County and will soon deliver the commencement address at the University of California, Irvine. The president is also being briefed on the violence in Iraq. Sunni militants continue to gain ground as they move toward Baghdad. Young Shiite men have been streaming into volunteer centers to answer the call from a top cleric to join the fight against ISIS. Authorities say methamphetamine is pouring into Central California from Mexico in liquid form. It's sealed in tequila bottles or plastic detergent containers. Once inside the Central Valley, which is a national distribution hub, cooks convert it into crystals. Quite a cleanup east of Yuma, Arizona, where a truck hauling tomatoes overturned. This is ABC News.
And now, another golf confessional brought to you by Golfsmith. A man who's in the Federal Witness Protection Program told us he recently left his quiet, anonymous row house and went to Golfsmith because right now, when you buy $99 worth of Adidas golf apparel or shoes, you get a $25 gift card. And we hope Jimmy Collin of 3792 Morningside Lane becomes a regular. Oh no. Right now, spend $99 or more on Adidas products and get a $25 gift card. Only at Golfsmith. Anything for golf.
Lumber Liquidators' low flooring prices just got even lower with the Buy More, Save More sale on now. Save $100, $300, even $500. The more you buy, the more you save on over 300 varieties of laminate, hardwood, and more. Save on striking and durable bamboo, including easy-to-install solid click strand bamboo for just $2.19 a square foot. That's 37% less than other flooring stores. Go to lumberliquidators.com to find the store nearest you. Plus, get special 15-month financing. But hurry, this sale ends June 17th.
Okay, and we're back. This is Ray and Sharon with To the Root of It from KLYC Radio this morning. This is a live call-in show, so we do have the capability of answering your questions online. If you write down this number, it's 503-435-1260. I know I forgot to give it at the beginning of the show, and so people don't know that we're available, and that's my mistake. I do apologize for that, but we can kind of answer questions right here online.
And the ones that we can't answer, we will get your information and find the answer for you. So you've got all kinds of resources with Master Gardeners. You've got the Grapevine. You've got the advertised seminars and workshops and programs that are out there. But you can call in here and talk about what your problem is, and we will get an answer for you if we don't have it.
You can also email us direct at Ray at totherootofit.com and Kyle at totherootofit.com. And that's happened lots of times. And that's kind of how we set up our next week's show, is what people need to know, and then we'll answer your questions the following week on the radio show. So if you have gardening questions and you can't get a satisfactory answer or can't get through to somebody at the extension office, which is pretty rare.
Oh, yeah. They're there most of the time, but they're business hours, and there's not always a ready answer, but they will get them for you.
But if you've been out gardening in the afternoon and the extension office is closed and you want an answer after supper, go ahead and...
Yeah, weekends.
Yeah, or weekends, yeah. Email us at Ray at totherootofit, all one word, .com, and Kyle at totherootofit.com, and we'll get you an answer. I guarantee that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and we won't just make one up either.
Oh,
No.
no.
We will actually do the research.
We'll do our homework, yeah.
We'll give you research-based answers.
Absolutely.
Because that's what we're supposed to do. But anyway, y'all have fun this weekend. There's lots to do, lots to see. This is the beginning of the festival season. There's pancake fests everywhere.
Oh, and don't forget this Father's Day. Got to take care of those dads.
Oh, yeah. You burn some steaks on the patio. Let Dad not burn them.
Pick those greens out of the yard and make him a nice fresh salad.
Absolutely. So anyway, this has been To the Root of It. We enjoyed Sharon this morning, bless her heart, filling in for Kyle, who is off Disneylanding.
Oh, wish I was there.
We'll see you next weekend. And keep your tools sharp.
Absolutely. Bye-bye.
KLYC forecasting, partly cloudy skies this morning. A slight chance of showers today and a chance of showers continuing off and on again this weekend.